shape. These rocks don't lose their shape. Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Ever wondered who were the OG top earners? From a lavish lifestyle to charitable works, these women lived the lives others could only dream of. Here are the top 10 richest actresses from the Golden Age.
Interested only in the shortest distance between these 2 points. Must you flirt?
Well, I don't have to, but I find it natural.
Suppress it.
I'll try.
Number 10. Greta Garbo. Swedish-American actress Greta Garbo is a star that was famous for beautifully executing the most tragic roles. She has also been termed one of the greatest female stars of classic Hollywood cinema for her acting subtlety. While she retired from the screen in the 1940s, she spent the next several decades amassing an immense art collection and investment portfolio, such that, by the time of her death, her combined fortune was worth tens of millions of dollars. Garbo had an estimated worth of $32 million before her death in 1990. When adjusted for inflation, that sum of money is equivalent to nearly $70 million in today's money. Alas, she wasn't born with this wealth. For Garbo, it is a very endearing rags to riches story. Garbo was born Greta Gustafsson on September 18, 1905 in Stockholm, Sweden. Her parents were Anna Lovisa and Carl Gustafsson. That said, the actress was born of simple parents, as her father was a factory worker while her mother worked in a jam factory. As such, she grew up in the working-class district of the city with 2 other siblings, Sven and Alva. Even as a child in what could be considered the slums, Garbo had very little interest in formal education. She rather showed a flair for pretend games. In time, she was participating in staged plays at the neighborhood Mosback Theater. She continued this well into her teenage years. Garbo took on odd jobs to make ends meet. She washed her hair at a barbershop and ran as many errands as she could find. In time, she landed a gig as a hat model at a department store. This eventually opened doors to better opportunities in the world of fashion modeling and later appearances in 1920s advertisements. She finally got a start on her acting journey with her debut in the 1922 short film Peter the Tramp. Garbo went on to hone her skills at Stockholm's Royal Dramatic Theatre, where she often shared the stage with Lars Hansen. By mid-1920s, Garbo made her way to New York City, where she caught the eye of Louis B. Mayer, vice president and general manager of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. Despite her lack of English skills, Mayer recognized Garbo's potential and invited her to Hollywood to star in silent films. After impressing the MGM Studios production head, Irving Thalberg, during a screen test, the star was born. They made her undergo several, let's just say, necessities like English lessons, dental work, and dietary adjustments. Then in 1926, Greta Garbo's appearances in Torrent and The Temptress catapulted her into stardom in Hollywood. By starring in 3 films alongside John Gilbert, she not only became a silent film sensation, but also solidified her status as one of the era's top box office stars through the 1930s. Transitioning to sound film in the 1930s, Garbo's debut in Anna Christie proved to be a commercial triumph. The role even earned her a Best Actress nomination at the Academy Awards. Her subsequent roles in Mata Hari and Grand Hotel further bolstered her reputation. We mean both films ranked as MGM's highest-grossing productions of their respective years. Following the expiration of her contract with MGM in 1932, Garbo returned to Sweden. Leveraging her success, she made sure to negotiate a lucrative new deal before she would return to the United States to resume acting, and it worked out splendidly. Her return marked a resurgence in her career and solidified her position as one of Hollywood's leading ladies throughout the 1930s. But while her performances in Camille and Ninotchka garnered critical acclaim and Academy Award nominations, her pace slowed down significantly afterward. The result? She retired from acting at the age of 35, having appeared in only 28 films. As such, she retreated to a private life and focused on her passion for art collection and investment.
And I'm the boy to do it.
You seem quite contemptuous of me all of a sudden.
Number 9. Katherine Hepburn. There is no doubt that Katherine Hepburn was one of the greatest stars of Hollywood's golden age. Nominated for 12 Academy Awards and winner of a record 4, Katherine Hepburn starred in classic films like The African Queen, Bringing Up Baby, The Philadelphia Story, and The Lion in Winter. Just like most of her on-screen roles, Hepburn was renowned for maintaining a progressive image of forthrightness, independence, and sophistication. In fact, it is for this very reason that she remains a role model in 20th century popular culture. Hepburn always had a knack for acting and left her university to pursue acting roles. Nothing worked for her at first, but of course, her luck would change. Her Broadway performance in The Warrior's Husband captured the attention of a Hollywood talent agency. Consequently, she made her Hollywood debut in the 1932 film A Bill of Divorcement. Hepburn significantly expanded her film repertoire in the 50s by taking on a wide range of genres. Notably, she starred opposite Humphrey Bogart in the adventure film The African Queen. This is one of her most notable roles and also marks her first film shot in Technicolor. By the 1980s, Hepburn had developed a physical tremor that made it difficult for her to work. Still dedicated as ever, she went on to appear in a couple more films. Perhaps most notable of her later works is the 1981 drama On Golden Pond. In this film, she and Henry Fonda starred as an old couple. Their stellar performances played a part in shooting this film into one of the highest-grossing films of the year. The film also earned both Hepburn and Fonda Academy Awards. In doing so, Hepburn became the first and only person in history to win 4 Oscars for acting. Her 4 awards were for the Best Actress category, and that is more than any other actress in history. From that point, she shifted much of her focus to television appearances. The American actress had a net worth of around $30 million at the time of her death. As you can imagine, Hepburn made most of her income and net worth through her movies and acting ventures. Still, she distributed most of her money to social and charitable causes. Many believe that the endearing Meryl Streep is close to beating Hepburn's record, but we still wouldn't hold our breaths. Next, an actress whose long-standing feud with her sister could be made into a movie of its own.
Why they come to me with this? That's your job.
Oh, darling, I was going to tell you, but I didn't get the chance. I broke the Johnny Cupid.
Number 8. Joan Fontaine. Best known for her portrayal of Lena in Alfred Hitchcock's 1941 film Suspension, Joan Fontaine is one of Golden Age Hollywood's finest. Her role in Suspicion earned her an Academy Award for Best Actress. Interestingly, her sister, Olivia de Havilland, also vied for the same award that same year. Talk about family drama, right? Interestingly, Joan and Olivia remain the only siblings to both win leading acting Oscars. But the long-standing career rivalry is not the reason why Joan is making this list. You see, at the time of her death in December 2013, the enchanting actress left behind a net worth of around $40 million. The British-American actress was born Joan de Bouvier de Havilland on October 22, 1917, in Tokyo City. This was within what was then the Empire of Japan. Her parents, Lillian and Walter, were both English. Her mother was a stage actress and her father a professor at the Imperial University in Tokyo. Fontaine embarked on her cinematic journey with her debut in the 1935 MGM romantic comedy No More Ladies. In the film, she appeared alongside Joan Crawford and Robert Montgomery under the name Joan Burfield. Shortly after, Fontaine inked a deal with RKO Pictures. This marked a pivotal moment in her career, as she landed her first major leading role in the aviation-themed film The Man Who Found Himself. Kicking off the 1940s with a bang, Fontaine portrayed the second Miss De Winter in Alfred Hitchcock's adaptation of Daphne du Maurier's novel Rebecca. Now, this was a role that catapulted her into the spotlight. Her stellar performance earned her an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress. Even better, the film triumphed as Best Picture. Such an impressive feat, and it was one that kept the jobs coming. So you can see how Fontaine's financial success stemmed primarily from her flourishing Hollywood career. Throughout the 1930s, 40s, and 50s, she graced the silver screen in numerous acclaimed productions. Beyond her film work, Fontaine is also said to have boosted her income through endorsements, public appearances, and various business ventures that befitted a prominent figure during Hollywood's golden age. Other notable credits include Gunga Din, Rebecca, The Constant Nymph, and Letter from an Unknown Woman. She maintained an illustrious career until 1994. Till that time, she participated in various mediums, including television, theater, and radio. Tragically, on December 15, 2013, 96-year-old Fontaine peacefully passed away at a residence in Carmel Highlands, California. Becoming a real-life princess was just the icing on the cake for this next star.
Good luck, Sam, and good sailing.
Number 7. Grace Kelly. Grace Kelly was an American actress, princess, fashion icon, philanthropist, and so much more. Born on November 12, 1929 in Philadelphia, Kelly hailed from a prosperous Irish Catholic family. Her father, Jack, achieved acclaim as a 3-time Olympic gold medalist in rowing and owned a thriving brickwork contracting company. During World War II, he served as National Director of Physical Fitness under President Roosevelt. Kelly's mother, Margaret, was only a PE teacher at the University of Pennsylvania. So while they might not have been poor, one could still argue that Kelly came from humble beginnings. By the time of her passing, she had amassed a net worth of $50 million. Adjusted for inflation, this amounts to $150 million in today's currency. So how did she go from being raised alongside her siblings in the Catholic and tight-knit community of St. Bridget's Parish to becoming a millionaire? First, she attended Ravenhill Academy and Stevens School. There, she engaged in dance and drama activities. With hard work and determination, it was only a matter of time before she made it into Hollywood. Grace Kelly rose to become the leading example of the success that a woman could make for herself through her career in film, television, and stage. She no doubt laid the stage on which she was to become one of Hollywood's most iconic and glamorous women. So obviously, a huge chunk of her wealth can be attributed to her acting career. Her performances in many of the greatest classic movies, particularly of Alfred Hitchcock, made her the quintessential Hitchcock blonde. She also made notable appearances in 1950s classics like Mogambo, Rear Window, To Catch a Thief, High Society, and The Country Girl. These are just a few of the most memorable performances that took her to worldwide stardom. To top this off, Kelly gained more prominence following her marriage to Prince Rainier III of Monaco. Retiring at the age of 26 years, she thrusted herself into the royal life. She had 3 kids with her husband, Prince Albert II, Caroline, and Stephanie. Despite Kelly becoming a member of the House of Grimaldi through marriage, she maintained a dual citizenship of American and Monacan. As an actress turned royalty, Kelly had a lot more money to spare, and she certainly made good use of it. Her philanthropic work spread over a plethora of different fields, particularly for children and the arts. Tragically, in late 1982, Kelly had a minor stroke while driving from her country estate to Monaco. As she lost control of her 1971 Rover P6 3500, she then swerved down a steep mountainside. Despite being rushed to the hospital, the gracious princess did not survive her injuries. Following her death, her husband launched the Princess Grace Foundation, which persists in helping to develop the arts through grants, fellowships, scholarships, and awards. In memory of her work in the arts and culture, a rose garden in Fontville has also been dedicated to her. The perfect way to carry on the task for which Kelly spent her entire life, wouldn't you say? Just like everyone strives to do, Kelly left behind an imprint in the world. Her works in film, television, theater, fashion, and philanthropy have solidified her position as one of the most long-standing and glamorous of Hollywood's personalities. While this next star is often famous for her infamous feud with her sister, she is also remembered for reforming labor laws in Hollywood as we know it.
I will attend to that. It's for me.
Yes.
Number 6. Olivia de Havilland. Older sister to Joan Fontaine, de Havilland equally ascended to stardom during Hollywood's golden age. Right from her iconic portrayal of Melanie Hamilton in the 1939 timeless classic Gone with the Wind, there is no doubt that she left an indelible mark in the industry. While initially typecast into roles portraying innocent young women, de Havilland would in time earn 5 Academy Award nominations for her portrayal of the most profound and commanding characters. Notably, she narrowly missed out on the 1942 Oscar for Best Actor to her sister, who triumphed in her role in Suspicion. On the bright side, she would get her own awards in due time. De Havilland's illustrious career continued to flourish with memorable performances in films such as To Each His Own and The Heiress, both of which earned her coveted Academy Awards for Best Actress. Now, this esteemed British-American actress was able to amass a fortune of $50 million by the time of her passing on July 25, 2020. She was 104 years old, yet still as gracious as ever. The secret to her fortune? None other than a very illustrious career. Born in Tokyo to British parents, she later relocated to California alongside her mother and sister Joan. During her high school years, Olivia showcased her acting prowess in various school productions. Following her graduation, she secured a scholarship to Mills College in Oakland. But before commencing her studies, she landed a role as the understudy in a production of Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. When 2 lead actors withdrew from the production, Olivia seized the opportunity and joined the troupe by assuming the role of Hermia. Following a standout performance in Los Angeles, Warner Brothers expressed interest in adapting the play into a film and swiftly invited Olivia to reprise her role as Hermia. Subsequently, Olivia inked a lucrative 7-year contract worth $200 per week with the studio. Adjusted for inflation, this would equate to approximately $3,900 per week or $202,000 per year in today's currency. Under this initial contract, she appeared in 20 Warner Brothers films. Had she fulfilled the terms of the agreement, she stood to earn the equivalent of $1.42 million in today's money over a 7-year period. But this wasn't meant to be, and for good reason too. Beyond her remarkable performances, de Havilland's legacy extended to her groundbreaking legal battles against the studio system. In 1943, she challenged Warner Brothers in court for unilaterally extending her contractual obligations without her consent. Emerging victorious, her lawsuit catalyzed significant changes in labor laws within the entertainment industry. Ever heard of the de Havilland Law? This was put in place to check the excessive power wielded by studios over their actors, and we have Olivia de Havilland to thank for it.
He asked me to leave the dance and go to his mother's cabin.
Did you go?
Yes.
Number 5. Mary Pickford. Mary Pickford was not your average actress. She is renowned as the co-founder of United Artists and one of the original 36 founders of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. Recognized as one of the pioneering figures from Canada in early Hollywood, she was ranked 24th among the greatest female stars of all time by the American Film Institute. It also helps that she had an impressive repertoire boasting over 250 acting credits. Sounds impressive, right? So you really should not be surprised to learn that she earned endearing monikers like Little Mary, America's Sweetheart, and the Girl with the Curls. With an Academy Award for Best Actress in a Leading Role, an honorary Academy Award, as well as a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Mary Pickford left no doubt an indelible mark on the film industry. Even better, she built herself a fortune in the process. At the time of her death in 1979, the celebrated Canadian-American actress left behind a substantial fortune valued at $40 million. Adjusting for inflation, this translates to approximately $170 million in today's currency. Now a face you must have been waiting for.
Sorry to wake you.
It's quite all right. Could happen to anyone, quite frequently does.
Number 4. Audrey Hepburn. If you know anything about the golden era of Hollywood, then you know that Audrey Hepburn was bound to make this list. The well-loved British-Dutch actress remains a fan-favorite fashion icon and humanitarian. After an early career on Broadway and a bit of film work, Hepburn scored her initial Best Actress Oscar in 1953 with the romantic comedy Roman Holiday. She was a star in the timeless classics Funny Face, Breakfast at Tiffany's, and Charade, all of which only solidified her position as one of the 20th century's most significant movie actresses. Hepburn later in life devoted much of her time to working with UNICEF as a goodwill ambassador. These are all great things to be remembered by, but of course, she had to have started somewhere. The icon was born Audrey Kathleen Ruston on the 4th of May 1929 in Ixelles, Brussels, and you would not be wrong to say that she was born into a world of considerable affluence. Her father was Joseph Victor Anthony Rushton, a striving British subject, and her mother was a lady by the name of Baroness Ella de Hemstra, an aristocrat of Dutch descent. Of such, both parents provided her with a privileged upbringing that would form the basis of her extraordinary life. And it truly was extraordinary. She might have passed away following an illness at the age of 63, but she was worth around $55 million at the time of her death in January 1993. Adjust for inflation, and that would be about $100 million today. An enviable sum, right? Well, let's take it back to the 1940s. Shortly after the war, Hepburn and her family moved to Amsterdam. There she took up lessons in ballet under the great ballerina Sonia Gaskell. By 1948, she went to London to pursue studies as a ballet scholar at Ballet Rambert. She even covered the costs of her lessons by modeling in the evenings. However, she was encouraged not to become a prima ballerina because she had a small frame and was weak. These were the lingering effects of wartime malnutrition, but she must have taken it in good stride. That same year, she set her sights on the film industry. Her first acting gig was a role in the educational travel feature Dutch in 7 Lessons. Her first starring role was in 1953, when she played the European princess in the romantic comedy Roman Holiday alongside Gregory Peck. In the said movie, she is an impromptu person taking a trip with an American journalist in the capital of Italy. For this role, she received numerous awards, an Oscar, a BAFTA, and even a Golden Globe, and she was the first actress to receive them all for a single role. After this success, Hepburn signed a very profitable 7-figure deal with Paramount, and it just kept getting better. Moving from one big movie to the next, Hepburn retained her place as the Queen of Hollywood well into the late 1950s. In 1961, Hepburn broke the record for the highest pay an actress ever received up to that time. She earned this immense amount of money for her role as Holly Golightly in Breakfast at Tiffany's. $750,000 for a single film was almost unheard of at the time. That amount would be equivalent to about $7.3 million today. In a couple of years, Hepburn would be dethroned from this pedestal by another actress who earned $1 million for a film. You certainly should not miss the inspiring names coming up. In the meantime, Hepburn earned her position while it lasted. That legacy stands still, in some form or another, through her legendary Hollywood appeal and her profound humanitarian service. In 1999, the American Film Institute paid tribute to her, ranking her as the 3rd greatest female star of all time. Today, her legacy is kept alive through her son, Sean, who founded the Audrey Hepburn Children's Fund. UNICEF also founded the Audrey Hepburn Society. This was set up to commemorate significant UNICEF donors. Through them, the Society has raised nearly $100 million. If you made it this far, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss more updates from us. Now, stepping into the big leagues, let us take a look at one of the last surviving major stars from the golden age of Hollywood.
This is the necklace my mother wore the night my father proposed to her.
Proposed?
I never had it on before.
Number 3. Sophia Loren. In her prime, Sophia Loren is an iconic Italian actress and model who dazzled everyone everywhere. Her most notable acting credits include Marriage Italian Style, Sunflower, and Two Women, just to name a few, of course. The 1960 film Two Women earned her an Academy Award for Best Actress. Her journey to an illustrious career began during her teenage years, when she ventured into film acting. By the time she signed a lucrative 5-picture deal with Paramount, there was no doubt that Loren was bound for international fame. Today, she boasts an impressive net worth of $150 million. Loren was born on September 20, 1934, as Sofia Villani Cicilline in Rome, Italy. Notably, her upbringing was marked by familial challenges. She was initially raised by her mother, Romilda Vigliani, a piano teacher, and her father, Riccardo Cicilline, a construction engineer from a noble lineage. However, her parents never married, and in time, her father eventually abandoned them without financial support. At the age of 15, Loren entered the 1950 Miss Italia beauty pageant under the name Sophia Lazzaro, where she emerged as one of the 3 finalists and was bestowed the title of Miss Elegance. Continuing under the name Lazzaro, she pursued her passion for cinema by enrolling at Italy's National Film School, the Centro Sperimentale di Cinematografia. In 1953, she adopted her enduring stage name Loren and subsequently landed her first leading role in Ada. The year 1960 marked a significant milestone in Loren's career. That year, she starred in 5 different films, including the George Cukor western Heller in Pink Tights, the romantic comedies It Started in Naples, and The Millionaires, as well as A Breath of Scandal alongside Maurice Chevalier. However, Loren's crowning achievement that year came with her portrayal in Vittorio De Sisa's Italian drama Two Women. The Academy Award she earned for this role was a groundbreaking feat, as she became the first actor to win an Oscar for a non-English language role. She continued acting well into the 1990s, when her acting career began to wane. Despite this, Loren would continue to receive recognition for her enduring contributions to cinema. This included an honorary Oscar in 1991 and the Cecil B. DeMille Award at the Golden Globes in 1995. Of course, it also helps that she amassed a great fortune while she could. Today, she is recognized as the only living person on the AFI's list of 50 greatest stars.
Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling, are you having another nightmare?
No,
There, sweetheart.
Number 2. Doris Day. Doris Day was more than your typical American actress. She was a captivating singer, savvy real estate tycoon, and perhaps even better, a dedicated advocate for animal rights. Interestingly, Day narrowly escaped the brink of financial ruin. Bouncing back from this, she would have amassed a fortune of $200 million at the time of her passing in 2019. Sounds like a lot, doesn't it? Well, let's start at the very beginning. The iconic Doris Day was born Doris Mary Ann Kappelhoff in April 1922 in Cincinnati, Ohio. She began her career in 1939 as a vocalist. She initially performed with Les Brown and his band of renown before venturing into a solo career. Her remarkable talent secured her a contract with Columbia Records. Over the span of 2 decades, from 1947 to 1967, Day produced an impressive catalog of over 650 recordings. But why stop at one when you can conquer both? Doris certainly thought so, as she carved out a successful acting career in the middle of all of that. After making her film debut in Romance on the High Seas, she would eventually star in 39 feature films. Today, she is renowned as a top-ranking female box office star of all time and 6th overall among male and female actors. Day has earned accolades such as the Cecil B. DeMille Award for Lifetime Achievement and the Los Angeles Film Critics Association's Career Achievement Award. Her music was not left out. She had 31 albums to her name and received a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. Isn't that something? Then came her third love. By 1971, Day directed her focus towards animal welfare when she co-founded Actors and Others for Animals. Subsequently, she established the Doris Day Animal Foundation and the Doris Day Animal League. She had an unwavering dedication towards animal rights, and it earned her the prestigious Presidential Medal of Freedom from President George W. Bush in 2004. Behind the fame, she lived a pretty interesting life, too. She was married 4 times and had a son, none other than the late music executive Terry Melcher. From 1968 to 1973, she graced the small screen in the Doris Day Show on CBS, and there is quite a unique story behind this. You see, in the late 1960s, Doris Day was taken aback when she discovered her financial state was not as buoyant as she believed. The shocking turn of events began after the death of her husband, Martin Melcher, in 1968. Unbeknownst to her, Melcher and a business associate had squandered over $20 million of her earnings, leaving her in a staggering $500,000 debt. Adjusting for today's inflation, this would equate to wasting $140 million and accruing a debt of $3.7 million. It was her son Terry who intervened to safeguard her assets and salvage her estate from financial collapse. To boost her finances further, she agreed to star in the Doris Day Show. This sitcom enjoyed a successful 5-year run. Just like that, Terry and Doris were able to stabilize her finances and preserve a valuable real estate portfolio, one that included properties in Malibu, Beverly Hills, and several lucrative hotels. Passing away on May 13, 2019, at the age of 97, she spent her final years in Carmel, California. There, she had retired to a 7-acre estate that doubled as an animal rescue sanctuary.
Knees. You dare ask the proconsul of the Roman Empire?
I asked it of Julius Caesar. I demand it of you.
Number 1. Elizabeth Taylor. It goes without saying that Elizabeth Taylor was one of the most affluent actresses to ever appear in front of the Hollywood screens. Renowned for her beauty and talent, Taylor amassed considerable wealth through her successful acting career and various business ventures. By the time of her death in 2011, she had an estimated net worth of $600 million. For her part, Taylor's career was always associated not only for her acting talent, for which she won 2 Oscars, but also with the glamorous style of an unrivaled collection of jewelry, art, and real estate. So it was not just her beauty and film work that endeared her to so many, but also her charitable endeavors as well. You see, Taylor was also a woman of great philanthropy who worked to increase awareness and money for HIV/AIDS research and treatment. She did not just advance AIDS research charities, she also fought discrimination against the afflicted. Wouldn't you agree that Elizabeth Taylor was a legacy that embodied more than just a Hollywood star? She has since been credited with saving many lives on different continents by her efforts to disseminate information about AIDS. So how did she amass such considerable wealth? Starting off as a child actor in the early 1940s, Taylor was making a considerable sum for her acting days at MGM. However, things would really turn when her contract was up. Going back to 1960, Taylor broke free from a near 2-decade stranglehold by MGM Studios. With this newfound freedom, she was offered the role of Cleopatra by Fox. Bubbles, champagne, and luxury defined the very essence of a movie star, and that is what Taylor was. So she exercised her star power with a studio that was anxious to work with her. Elizabeth Taylor negotiated for $1 million up front and a 10% share of the film's gross profits. Following the initial contract talks, the negotiation process spanned 11 months, resulting in terms far exceeding the initial $1 million request. Taylor secured a weekly percentage of $50,000 as overtime compensation for for what was estimated to be a 16-week shoot, but extended to 2 years in reality. Without diving too much into the arithmetic, the countless additional days combined with her base pay amassed nearly $7 million by the end of production. That is equivalent to $60 million today. Life-changing, isn't it? While she made history as the first actress to earn $1 million for a single film, a significant portion of her wealth stemmed from her later entrepreneurial endeavors. March 23, 2011, Taylor died of congestive heart failure at the age of 79. Her estate, then valued at $600 million, was designed as a revocable living trust in order to maintain privacy for its beneficiaries. Her estate, reportedly managed by a board of trustees and her children, continues to make profits from ongoing royalties, licensing deals, and an assortment of memorabilia. As such, the financial weight and stature of Taylor is still being kept alive even after her death. One thing you can learn from Taylor: breaking off from a long-term contract with an industry giant is no small feat. However, her resilience and savvy prevailed where others might have faltered under pressure. Such is a lesson even more relevant today. What iconic faces were you hoping to see? Do share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. You also can't miss the next video on screen.